Grade 8.
Hey, run that thing up.
Grade 8.
Hey, run that thing up.
What's good, everybody? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Grade A Show with Musa, Mike, Ace is here, Draco is here, man. Thank y'all for being here and tuning in, everybody watching. Continue to like the channel and subscribe and continue to share and leave a comment if you feel the need to do so. We're going to be talking about quite a bit of things today. How y'all doing, fellas, though? Let me check on my guys. How y'all doing, man? Saturday. Cooling, man. Cooling. Got college football going on. If y'all ain't tuned in to the recent episode that we have on that we had this past Wednesday, make sure y'all check that out and enjoy the college games this week. But let's get into it, man. Y'all see the title down below. We're talking about the Warriors having a real shot this year. So hopefully Clips joins today because I want to chime in. Actually, he is here today, my guy. I want to chime in a little bit, fellas, about the Warriors today. And Clips, if you're here and you're active, my brother, how you doing? I want to hear how you feeling about your team. We talked to you a little bit last week. So what's up with them, man? They looking good right now.
Good. Ha! Boy, we balling. No, I'm playing. We doing all right.
I mean, y'all are they balling for sure. For sure.
I mean,
they deserve it.
Yeah, I just want to see this continue to the second half of the season. You know, right now we're looking to win the NBA Cup. Apparently, I didn't think that was a thing, but that's what Draymond said. So they want to win the Cup. So we're gonna take it a step at a time, win the Cup. You know, make the playoffs. You know, hopefully we make it out the playoffs. So
wait, did Draymond say that they was trying to go for the Cup, the champion?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
to me, it's kind of cool to hear people actually going after that and stuff like that. I know a lot of people felt some type of way about it when they brought it, up to the league and stuff like that, and everybody had questions and concerns. But to me, so far personally, it's pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to it too.
Yeah, you know, second in the West, you know, it's looking real good. I mean, 92, man.
Who's behind them? Do you know in the standings at 3 and 4? I forgot. Who's behind?
I'll check it right now. I believe it's Denver, but I know OKC is first.
Houston, and Phoenix.
Say that first team again.
OKC, Golden State, then Houston, then
Thank
Phoenix.
you. That's all I wanted to hear.
Who was that?
We ain't talking about Houston, bro. We talking about Golden State right now.
Hey, not too much. That's all I wanted to hear. Because me personally, I don't care till after Christmas. But
hey, my boy got the stuff. Take yourself, boy.
No, I definitely feel you, Musa, but I think it's something to talk about, especially after what we've seen from them last year. This kind of reminds me, if you guys remember that 2022 year, of course, when the Warriors won. The year before that, how trash they were record-wise, and then came the next season and kind of was just taking it by storm. So this is it's still early, but it's giving me a little similarities about from that year.
To be fair, Clips warned us of this. I just want to give credit to him for saying that. I'll continue.
Warned us of what? He said they was going to be trash.
Now hold on. He said he's
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Whole
he
praise.
did.
hold the mic, bro. He said the year they won the championship, the year before they were trash. He said just give them time and they'll be back there. Did he not say that on this platform?
And he did say on this platform that this season they were not going to be this good.
Yeah,
So two things can be true.
That's
Two
true.
things can be
I
true.
bit my tongue on the point Peso just made because yes, they were trash because of injuries.
I know they beat the reigning champs.
Talk about it.
Who cares? The Nuggets lost before when they were the reigning champs.
Ace.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
I can't even see you right now. I'm looking at nothing
There's
but
nothing to be seen.
for the background.
Ain't nothing to be seen.
But
They
to
beat
Ace's
the
point,
defending champs without the whole roster. So I mean,
to Ace's point, to you guys' point, I did say I didn't think this was gonna be this good, this hot at the start of the season. But I also did say when you give us time to figure out how we're gonna, how we're gonna move forward, Golden State will be back in that contention realm. So like you said, two things can't be true. But one thing for sure, and one thing for sure, boy, we balling.
Yeah, and to clear up something, because my point about I don't care because it's November was about the Rockets. And in general, I always say the season starts really after Christmas. So that wasn't towards the segment of the Warriors. That was mostly just like my general thought process.
I just like how we play defense, man. We gritty,
I definitely like. I stated it last week too. I definitely think that more teams are taking priority into setting themselves up in the regular season for the playoffs. As far as seeding and stuff like that, of course, we know there's a lot of injuries and stuff, but I think at least the past two seasons, for me personally, it's kind of like shown what really home field advantage can do, and having those first two games at home in the playoffs could really make a break for a team. So, Mike, Draco, y'all got anything on the Warriors this year so far?
It's too early in the season.
I'll get into that later into another segment.
Well, I'll say it again because I said it last time when we mentioned them beating Boston. Their defense is their calling card right now, and like Clips said, they're playing great defense, and that's going to help them. I still have concerns on how they'll play against the bigger teams at the front court. Once they get into the playoffs and it's a slower pace and stuff like the Denvers of the world, but I think overall, they'll be just fine as far as the regular season goes if they can stay healthy. This is a good start that they definitely can use to their advantage because and most teams do get into that little small slump with them having the games that they are ahead in the West, that could keep them afloat. So.
Yeah, right now they're half a game up. Again, yeah, it's still very early, but they are 10-2. So I mean, we got to call it out for what it is. I know Ace wanted to. If you want to chime in, you got anything on the Warriors so far this year?
I do, but not just the Warriors. It was some comments that was made. You know what? Hold up. Let me.
There you go. Everybody tuning in, man. Make sure y'all like the channel and subscribe, man. Appreciate y'all being here.
One thing you did say is playoff seeding matters, but we've seen teams that didn't care and went up there and upset teams. Like the time Lakers was a 7th seed, like the time Miami was the 8th seed, things like that. So seeding matters, but it also comes down to the toughness and willingness of a team. Now, I've been guilty of saying this before, and like Noosa's point, sometimes, like we say the season starts December. However, we can't slight those teams that are prepared early and come out there swinging, So they are, battling, especially in the West is competitive. The East is competitive. I just feel like it's hard because it's like the season does start in December, but at the same time, we can't fully discredit the hard work of the teams that are setting themselves up for success. The Cavaliers are having fun. They're balling. The Warriors are making it fun again. And to Moose's point, this isn't the small, like we've seen a small Warriors team before handle business and everything. It would be good to see the front court teams, but however, I don't want to take away from their shine. I feel like with the team and the momentum they have now, they'll be willing to take down the Nuggets and the bigger teams.
What small teams, other than the last championship run they had success?
The first championship team they had.
They weren't small.
Hold up, but all right. Besides the lineup, then when you took Bogut out, they had Draymond at center, did they not?
Yeah,
They,
Vestas Azili also on the
they
back line.
called
The
it
Reese Bates. They
well,
weren't a small team.
if you let me get to it, they called it the death lineup when they had Iggy, Harrison Barnes, Klay, Steph, and Draymond Green. But they didn't have a notable center in the lineup at the time. And we're still taking out teams off of defense, rebounds, and of course the 3-point shooting.
Yes.
So as far as the small ball, it's not like this is the first time we've seen that type of adaptation of an offense ran by that organization.
We
Yes,
also
look-
see teams like OKC getting dubs with the tallest man being 6'6", but I mean that's just there.
Yeah. But
You gotta-
like that's what we say. Just like whatever night, like you use that advantage to your time. I mean, when they go up against bigger teams, I want to see the lineup. However, we've seen Golden State do it and OKC do it. Yeah, and Musa, I see you.
So when you say success, I'm assuming you mean like winning at all, like playoff success. Outside of that last championship the Warriors had, they did not. All those other teams were not small in the front court. They had Bogut, they had Azili, they had size up front. Now, yes, they did go to the small ball lineups. Yes, that was their bread and butter. But what I'm saying is, even now with the small ball lineup, they didn't have teams then that had players like Jokic who can affect them on their defensive side so heavily on it because of his offensive prowess. So
besides
I say
Jokic,
they
though,
can't
what
have success, but they're gonna need a center at some point when they go, depending on the matchups. Because like you said, with the low seeds, yes, that's a good point with the Lakers. Even though they were well seasoned, so they knew how to navigate through the playoffs. And like I said, they were battle tested. At least the core players were. So same with the Warriors. The year they made that run against Boston in the finals, most of the core players have been tested and knew how to like maneuver despite being on the road and stuff. So
Well, what I was saying was that besides the 22 lineup, like 2014 Warriors, things like that, they ran lineups where Bogut wasn't there. There was times where he was hurt. So we've seen it done before besides the 2022 season. And I don't want to fully say they haven't ran into big teams because, I mean, during that stretch, the Spurs was old. They were still getting it done in the paint. They had a version of the Memphis with, I want to say, Randolph Gasol. They had a run-in with, I mean, it was just AD. But they've seen different looks of big men who changed the game offensively and defensively.
I want to ask too, besides Jokic, what other big lineups, Musa specifically, would
the Lakers.
Okay, keep going if there's more.
Assuming Chet can come back and Hartenstein, that'll be another line they have to manage around. I think they can do better against them because Chet's not really someone's going to dominate inside. But for sure, Denver, the Lakers. I don't want to toot their horn yet, and they're young in the tooth. So, but I will mention Houston because Sengun.
Man, we ran all them boys out of here. All them big.
I didn't run the Lakers out of there.
When they get against them teams that have to run, they dying, boy. They dying. Yeah, Peso. I know you know I'm right too, boy. You know it's okay. It's okay. Small ball wins certain games. Small ball ain't gonna win forever. Because with how the league is expanding in size, players are coming in a lot taller. Small ball is gonna be like not a thing soon.
It might still be. They just might have that big that like a Wemby where
Yeah,
plays more outside than in.
But look, they beat Joker in 2022. They beat Memphis with was that when
2022 without Jamal Murray?
Without Jamal Murray. They still got
Joker. Talking
Joker.
about the big though. We just talking about bigs.
if we're talking about bigs specifically and stuff.
That year was
We got to bring up the context. But
was Jaren Jack Defense Player of the Year that year in Memphis, 2022?
Jaren Jack is not.
Yeah, but I don't.
He's a big. We're not doing that. He's a big.
We go from Jokic dropping off to Jaren Jackson.
But that's why I asked the question, like, what other bigs are we talking about? I wouldn't consider Jaren Jackson in that category with Jokic, AD, and Chet.
That's only three people then. Only three teams.
He was a Defensive Player of the Year, I think, that year. He's qualified to be on the back line. That's all I'm saying. Like, they go against bigs. It's just, hey.
But when I mention bigs, I'm talking about like offense who can dominate the game offensively. What is he doing, Jaren Jackson? Shooting threes. He's not gonna put pressure on him in the paint. That's why.
So then you're only telling me the Golden State only has to worry about those three teams. or
One,
two.
how many teams in the West? One.
I
Joker?
wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I mentioned. I really just only said
I think
Memphis,
it's
not
Denver.
Memphis. I'm sorry, because y'all just mentioned Memphis.
Denver.
Lakers in Denver.
I won't worry about Lakers.
I wouldn't even consider them yet because they still short in the tooth. Like Houston's kind of where Sacramento was when Golden State went against them in that first round, where they not experienced. But hell, you can mention Sabonis if you want. But
Sabonis ain't giving us it's like Joker.
But
Stop it.
he's closer than Jaren Jackson Jr.
I'm not saying I didn't say they was. I never said they was.
I'm not saying you
big.
said that. I'm just saying in general.
But we're
it's not a
gonna act
drop
like-
off. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead.
No, what was you about to say?
Sabonis just causes fits like AD and Joker, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Sabonis specifically is like a different matchup for Golden State. For me, yes, he's better than Jaren Jackson, but I don't know. It's like with him and AD, it's like a different outcome with him and like Draymond. I've noticed in the past couple of years and stuff.
You mean the one playoff series they had that I just mentioned?
No, in multiple regular seasons.
Right after that. By the way, right after that playoff series that Golden State won, when they played the last season in the play-in, they won that game. And so Sabonis was one of the big reasons why. So it's only been 2 years, if you're not including this season right now, because we haven't seen what's going on currently yet.
Yeah, I mean,
So how many regular season games has Sabonis impacted against Golden State? Can we look that up, please?
That's what I was gonna get at. Like, we're gonna talk about him individually, yeah, but like a collective. I'm trying to figure out like what really big besides Jokic team that has a big besides Jokic that has a shot to defeat a small ball lineup that Golden State has been running with these past 12 games so far.
We're talking about offensive Embiid whenever the hell he plays. Anthony Davis is all right. I guess what's his name? Porzingis, when he's healthy. The almighty Celtics, they have a chance.
Thinking about the West. Let's talk about the West, because realistically the West for playoffs.
All right. Well, like I said,
That's it. Let's cut to it. That's it. That's literally it.
One thing that was brought up on this podcast was matchup. When y'all said that Minnesota was a matchup to beat the Nuggets, but Mavericks would have lost. I just feel like it just depends on the matchup, and let's just agree with that.
One thing I want to did any of you guys catch the game with Klay Thompson's debut in Golden State earlier this week?
Yep.
So I want to say that I love the competitive nature and how it was brought back. I know y'all rather have 30 and a win, but I like how Steph was really chiming at that boy. You hear me? Letting him know, like, yo, this is me. I did this. You could have had this. You left. I like how they was guarding each other, going at it. That's what I love to see. Me as a viewer.
How do y'all feel about that passion statement at the end when he put everybody to sleep? Was that shots fired?
A little bit. It's all love and respect.
My thing is, a lot of people interpreted it 2 different ways. Like, I don't know what he was saying. If I'm interpreting to like, because they said he was saying something to this, like, this is my house,
or he didn't
like,
want to be here.
Yeah, you didn't want to. You left here. You left here. So if he's saying that, then yeah, I can see what everybody's talking about. But then somebody else was just like saying he was just talking shit like, this is my house and nigga, y'all will never come in and win and shit like that. So I mean, either way, I do like the chirping. I think we need to see that more. I think Draymond plays a big factor in that too. So because Draymond knows how to get Steph going. Yeah, so I like it. I like the intensity in that game. I hope all the games is like that. I feel like Klay's gonna have a better game next time they face out. Because this one was more so of like a ceremony, the tribute thing, but I still think Golden State's smacking their ass in the next game too.
With all that happened, did y'all expect Klay to have the game that he did?
Yeah, he been trash since last year.
Type shit. Well, the end of last year, because he had a good, he had good spurts last year. But
I just want to
what
say,
y'all saying he had a trash game.
Nah, he had a great game.
It could have been better. I just want to say I like how he was I like how the way Klay seems so nonchalant, to see him really put a little bit of effort. Now besides Golden State and Mavericks, I wanted to see Luka be like, hey, let me get some of that. I wanted to see Kyrie go back at Steph and be like, yo, because they still got smoke from them Cavs and Warriors runs. I want to see teams play that when they play each other, they stand up to play again. Make it not just competitive. I'm not saying I want them to go elbow each other, but make it fun to watch. Make it competitive. Yeah, Musa.
I was going to answer your point. Luka hasn't been really playing up to Luka's like standards this season so far. Don't let the box score fool you guys. He has not been playing to his standard.
Does he look out of shape?
Conservative player though.
He looks like he's out of shape. Yes. His defense. I can go on that, but
Utah. I've seen
now
Utah.
the game I was going to go to, and then don't get me wrong, the blunder he had at the end of the game, where you see Najee Marshall signaling to them like, "Stay home, I got ball." That happens a lot. It happened with Tatum against Golden State, where he gave up the 3. So these players at that magnitude have blunders like that, but it's just consistent with.
I'm sorry. The blunder at the very last moment of the game that you could possibly win. You leave a man wide open.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that can't happen, right? That's why I mentioned Tatum, because Tatum done that previously against the Warriors. Yeah. But what I'm saying is it's happening too consistently with Luka. So the stats can look what it is, but if you watch, he hasn't been looking like himself.
That's a Western game. That was a loss for no reason. It was just like, yo, just stay home. Wide open layup. Also, I sent y'all one in the chat where it was kind of ironic, and it's this a little shot because I'm a Lakers, going for them. Klay chose, Lakers over Mavericks, and Mavericks is like 12th in the West right now, whereas Lakers are thriving.
Yeah, I seen that. I didn't pay it too much mind because it's still earlier in the season. But
see, that's another thing. We can't be saying early in the season because later on in the season, it's a catch-22 because later on those teams like the OKC, the Warriors, Cleveland, and Celtics, they dominate, which they rightfully so when they deserve. But do we discredit teams that took it serious early on?
So to that point too, so at the beginning of the season, what are we supposed to be judging off of then? What do we take serious at the beginning of the season?
So y'all misconstruing when I say it's too early in the season. What I'm saying is, yeah, I'm acknowledging what it is now, but I also am acknowledging that it's still plenty of NBA ball to be played.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because last year the Mavericks was at the bottom in the playoff playing bracket. Yeah. Then they got that second half of the season when they made the trade. They made that run.
Just like the Celtics. We talk about the Celtics, and that year Ime got those boys together. That's what I'm saying. But I feel like it's a catch-22 because, and then this is how I feel about the NBA Cup. I feel like it creates that urgency, that fast pace early to be like, let's take this serious. I don't kind of like how it'll count towards their record. And, I don't want any injuries and everything like that.
The games does. It's just the championship game I don't think counts.
Well, I like that competitive nature, especially in the conference. All right, bet let's get it popping, But teams that take it early serious, I'm not knocking them because it is a game of runs. I don't want any team that's hot right now to fall off, but it can happen, and you wake back up. Mavs, second half season teams, and we see it a lot. It's just teams that are prepared. Celtics is people they came out prepared. The Cavaliers came out prepared. Certain teams are taking it serious. Then you have the blunders with Luka, things like that. Certain stars haven't been playing to their potential or consistently playing to their potential. And talking too much, shout out to LeBron, 4 triple-doubles in a row.
Then too, what about the teams that
my bad.
What about the teams that aren't? Well, the teams like Philly and the teams like, I'm not going to say Milwaukee's not taking it serious, but their record shows otherwise. Of course, if you watch it, that's not the case. Embiid having injuries, Paul George having injuries, ain't nothing you can control. But
Middleton,
when we talking about record wise, we have to just call it for what it is right now. All these games is going to add up later on into the season, and this is why towards the end of seasons, before playoff times, there's always talk about all right, guys and teams need to stay healthy, need to take things serious early in the season and the beginning of the season. So this stuff definitely does mean a lot.
Yes, which I'll be clear. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying I can acknowledge what they're doing great in the moment, and also acknowledge there's still plenty of ball left, so things can change. But I think there's I can name at least 6-7 players that's playing better than Luka right now.
Well, I don't want to get the shot at Luka, but while we're on that topic, I've heard when Klay and the Dynasty Warriors, when they said that somebody like LeBron, with certain players, I can understand for them it's like going through the motion. You have this type of game, this game, but those are the players who know how to pace themselves. When we get to the players who up and down. Now, to Moose's point earlier, he brought it up in a private matter where Philadelphia not playing back to back, and then Paul George. So we kind of understand that team would be floppy for a minute. You're gonna have the guys who are getting high minutes, and then when Embiid and Paul George come back, they're not getting minutes. So that's tricky. But who are the players you can name playing better than Luka?
Oh, for sure. My bad. I had this Sabonis stuff up. I was just trying to get that situated.
AD,
Well, you love
AD,
Sabonis.
Tatum,
Tatum, Jokic,
LeBron.
Curry, Shea. I only got to touch Braun because Brian he been playing good recently, but I ain't gonna mention him. AD, Shea, Curry, Tatum. Hold on, let me put the Giannis. That's 5. Ant-Man have been playing
Hold on.
better.
You said people playing better than Luka. Are you saying that he's
Yeah.
better than those players you just listed, or is he in the same realm as them?
They are on the same realm, but they're
See,
playing better than him right now.
If you say playing better than, then that's expected because those are guys in their own rights. Now, if you tell me somebody like
Wait, so expected for Tatum to be better than him?
certain times, yeah, as far as scoring, Tatum's their roles is kind of different. But if you're saying they're in the same realm, you don't expect Tatum if he's like MVP caliber.
No, I do. That's just not been the consistency on the channel. That's why I'm asking the question.
Luka has more responsibility, yeah. But at the same, if Tatum's playing better, he's playing
Does he
better.
though?
It's still early. Luka's responsible for creating shots, scoring, the offense going. Tatum is just the first option. He doesn't bring the ball down the court all the time. I don't really hear about the demand for his assist. It helps if he gets the assist going. But Luka's the designated point guard.
So what about the defense and the rebounding?
Well, he's never been good at defense, so I don't know why we're expecting him in this season. Like we would hope
that carries into responsibility on the court.
We would hope for that to happen. Him and Tatum ended up at the same position last year in the finals, and that's what happened. I just feel like the roles are slightly different.
Fair enough. So yeah, we had Tatum, AD. Oh, I had Tatum, AD, Shea, Curry, and I mentioned Giannis.
I think there's a boat of people playing.
I
better
didn't
than
even
Luka
say
right now.
Jokic yet, did I?
You said Jokic the first time you said
So
Jokic.
I'm at like 7.
Jokic, whatever.
If you can make an argument for Mitchell, you can make the argument. But
So are you saying Luka? And you said Giannis too, but are you saying Luka's supposed to be ahead of all of them?
Not all of them, but he's not.
Like,
he should be in that top 3, 4 range.
If you told me somebody like Derek White is playing better than Luka, then I'd be like, all right, we could talk. But when you say other stars are playing better than Luka, it's like, all right,
But hold on.
Catch up to your coach.
Luka's a consensus top 3 player. So if you have someone that's not in that top 5 realm, like an Anthony Edwards,
welcome to the NBA. It happens. If you slack off, Anthony Edwards, AD, and Tatum got to slack off because Luka not playing good. That's between him and who he prays to in the organization.
Let me ask you a question, Ace. Has Ant-Man ever been in the same category as Luka?
He has not, but we all agree that he's been progressing. He's catching his stride.
But that's
if
my
Luka
point.
Fall off and slack off and eat churros in the off season, then that's not no one's
churros is crazy.
I get what you're trying to say, and he's been in that caliber, but the same way I like how people drop down, some people are gonna rise up. It ain't my fault you slacking off. I'm gonna get better.
We can agree to disagree. We can move on.
Well, no, I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is I get what you're saying, and Luka isn't playing like himself. But the NBA is gonna keep going, the game's gonna keep. That's between him, Kyrie, who he prays to, in his organization. Like, hey, bro, step it up.
Kyrie ain't got nothing to do with how Luka playing. That's all Luka.
They're on the same team, and he could talk to him. I'm not gonna tell Tatum, stop going left to right and stop shooting threes. Good. Tatum is shooting better this season. It's not historical, but he's been shooting better. Curry's bringing that fire back. AD is rolling. LeBron's getting a triple. That's between him and his coworkers and who he prays to. Like, hey, Luka, you gotta. But it might be too early for him. Maybe as the season goes, he gets his rhythm. Like, who knows?
One thing I did want to randomly bring up, and I wanted you guys to chime in on it, because we did talk about how in the All-Star games we kind of want to see more events and things change up a little bit. So some news came out breaking, stating that the NBA is in serious discussions on a new 4-team tournament format for the 2025 All-Star game. So basically, it would consist of 3 teams of 8 All-Stars each team, and the winner of the Rising Stars game, basically, to settle. I guess I would assume teams play each other and then settle who's the best team to come out. So how would y'all feel about that if that was to happen?
I only feel like I feel like it's a little. I don't want to say stupid only because it's new. But what about those stars? Like, for example, you had a time where Damian Lillard was a young star, an all-star. Like, but people like Wemby, if Wemby balls this season and he's granted an all-star position, does he only stay with the young stars?
I think this gives it a. I think it sounds like it's gonna give it more potential for more people to make the All-Star game. If you have 3 teams with 8 each, that's 24 players versus like, what is it? 12? Is it 12 on 12 on both East and West, or is it?
12 or 15?
I think it's 15.
Oh, so it sounds like it might be the same. It just sounds like that Rising Star team is now going to get inserted into the mix-up and stuff. So I thought it was going to be a potential for more players.
I don't even want the potential for more players. I want the potential for greater competition. I feel like the issue that Adam Silver spoke about was getting the players to really play again. It used to be a thing where those East versus West games used to mean something. It used to be like, hey, like, all right, we have our own battles, but let's go and get them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that will raise the competition. You'll just have more superstars going through the motion on All-Star weekend, taking their days off and just shooting this shit. I want them to, I'm not saying to go out there and elbow each other, but just raise the competitive nature a little bit. So maybe if they had a prize like, all right, these teams get a certain amount of monetary value back to their team, or these teams get something. That way, certain players are like, you know what? Let's get that. Steph, LeBron, and KD be like, all right. Then at the same time, you have Donovan Mitchell, Tatum, and Brown. But you know what? What y'all saying? And then something like that. I just feel like more teams create more of that go with the flow type of shit. Excuse me.
So they already do the monetary value when it comes to the NBA Cup. I doubt them doing that again for the All-Star weekend. The money that they're already generating with that is going to the charities that are, I don't know if they're pre-selected or drafted, whatever the process is for the city that they're in for that All-Star weekend. To be honest, I don't have much to say about this yet until more information comes out. Them mentioning the rookie or sophomore team, I think that is to possibly the point to Aces make it competitive. Because them young boys, like the rookies or sophomore players, if they get a chance to play against some of the All-Stars on the All-Star weekend, some of them might not be there ever again. So they're going to try to go at these dudes to get more light on them, probably get more minutes depending on where they're at. So that could help. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the players. Like, they got to go out there and compete. And, give a good product to those who paid money and those watching that want to see it. Now, a lot of them ain't trying to do that because they ain't trying to get hurt during the All-Star game. So it's a lose. I won't even say it's a lose-lose. It's a just tricky scale overall.
Because
it sounds nice.
I get it's a break, but like when you say All-Star break, it's like vacation. I feel like Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade, like that was like the last time I remember it going serious. I think Dwayne Wade has the one and only technical foul in NBA All-Star history when you hurt Kobe. But it was like something like that. Now, I don't want them to get hurt, but a little competitive. Like when we're playing a game at 21, it's competitive, but we're not going to the point where you're getting somebody hurt. If you realize somebody got the lane on you, you let them go. But then it was like, I think when Luka had traveled or he went to go dunk, and it was just like, it was like, here you go. Like, it was like, all right, yeah, you want to put on a show for the fans. But the show, I feel like the fans would appreciate a tougher game, if I'm not mistaken. I remember the talks of how we saw something about the All-Stars being like a one-on-one tournament. I wouldn't want to see that, but if that would help to get it competitive, then yeah.
I also want to add, and anyone else can go. I just feel like with the All-Star game, it's some of them look at a vacation, but those who are selected or participating in the All-Star series, they fly in probably Thursday, Wednesday, and they're already like media day, questions, fundraisers, charities. So they're not really getting a break. But I also wanted to just say to your point, Ace, is that I'm at the point in myself to understand that the way basketball and some of the players conceive these type of games in the break, when we was growing up, those days is over. We're not going to see those technical fouls, those rough plays. I think in that game he mentioned with Wade, I think Wade busted his nose or something like that. Something happened.
He did.
So those days are over. I already conceded that. So I'm
not
not
saying
trying to go into like
I'm not saying I want technical fouls. It was just about how they got a little like, all right, I care about beating him. I care about like that was it. Now those days are over. Now to Peso's original question, what I'm saying is, if you're gonna split up three teams, and things like that, one team, rookies. Besides the rookie and sophomores, we don't want to just throw out more superstars, and they're just not gonna take it serious. Mike, maybe you could back me up or chime in here if I'm, you be the voice of reason sometimes.
Well, my view on it is baseball had it right before. They got rid of it, which was stupid, but play for home court in the championship. Well, they played for home field in the championship. The NBA needs to put something in to incentivize it to play for like home court in the finals. If they don't do something like that, get rid of the entire weekend and everything with it as far as I'm concerned, because they're not going to take it seriously. I don't think the viewers really should even tune into it, because you got to put some stakes in there to keep it going.
I'm glad they got rid of that rule, because if they would have brought that to the NBA, that'd have been a travesty. Because imagine a team like the Warriors winning 73 games, and because the East won the All-Star break, that some reason the East team gets the home court advantage in the finals.
Makes it more interesting, though. If you win 73 games, it shouldn't matter where you're playing. You should win the finals regardless.
No, it should, because what the hell am I playing the regular season for? If to be this great, just for me not to get the home court for the biggest game of the year.
Well, but like you're saying, though,
I'm going to be mid all year, and then my conference wins
something to make them care about it.
What was that, Ace? I'm sorry.
Something like he said, something to make them care about it. If you put it like this to make them care about it, you'd be like, all right. Now I know
there's definitely some ideas we could try to give to make them care about it. I'm just not agreeing with that one, because that's
what would you promote? What would you say implement to say, hey, you know what, this will help the players to care more?
Honestly, I don't have one, because I don't care about the All-Star game, really, if I'm being truthful.
At this point, you almost got to take their family hostage for that weekend, boy. If you don't win, like, you got to do something drastic. They don't want to play in that, bro. It's supposed to be a break. They don't want to play. No money, no nothing. You can't offer them nothing. I wish we could just vote who would be the All-Stars and then let them just get bread for being All-Stars, but don't actually do a game for it.
Because I think that goes into some of the contract negotiations. Like, hey, this person is an All-Star, MVP, things like that.
The All-NBA team, make it like an All-NBA team type of thing. They get, y'all, you won All-Star this year, but they don't do no game for it, bro.
Or just give everybody a bye week and let it sit.
Yeah, like, okay, you was an All-Star this year. It's like the halfway All-NBA team in my mind.
The NBA ain't gonna do that because they're gonna lose out on money, and TNT ain't gonna want to lose out on money either.
TNT contract up, ain't it?
Yeah, it is, but at least speaking into this 2025 All-Star, they're not trying to lose money. These TV deals, Amazon, whoever is coming in, they're not trying to lose that money. So the players are going to play because they are getting paid for this, and it does take effect in their contracts, because if you make the All-Star game team along with the NBA, you get the bigger extension depending on what type of contract you're on, rookie extension, etc.
I do want to bring up the NBA Cup predictions. Since we're talking about new things going on in the NBA and stuff like that. This is the second year of the NBA Cup, and I'm going to share the standings so far, and then I want to know you guys' predictions so far. Of who do you guys think? At least we could start off, and we'll go to a week we'll go from a week-to-week basis on this. But we could first start off with who do you guys have coming out of each group? And whoever wants to start can go.
West State, I will go with Houston, right?
West State. So we could all start off with West State, and then we'll go down the line.
I gotta zoom in or something like.
You screen ain't big enough, boy.
Boy, hush.
I got.
Zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's good. Boy, them teams that put up 200 is already
Yeah, that's because they're the only one who played 2 games.
Yeah, so the points is just the collective amount of points. So you see, like Golden State has 243. That's because they played 2 games.
I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm putting Lakers in there only because they have experience. They matched up different times. I got Lakers out of West B.
We got West A right now, though. We got our West A.
West A. I like Minnesota. However, I feel like Sacramento might be the team that really shot.
They just lost to the Trailblazers, Minnesota. They ain't getting out of that group.
They just beat the Kings last night.
Yeah, but you lost to the Trailblazers, and look at their point differential at -14. When you got a team like the Rockets, it's a +21. I don't see how any other team other than the Rockets gets out of this group.
That's fair.
I can see it only because I think the Rockets are going to end up losing a game at some point in this.
Yeah, but by how many points? That's the thing.
I can see them. I can see them losing 10 plus, maybe to Minnesota actually, or Sacramento. Clippers is due for a game. I don't think they'll be the team to do it because they just routed the Clippers. But I can see it happen. I think this group it might be a little closer than what it looks like so far.
Well, Houston's been able to shut the Clippers down twice. They've shut down Norman Powell. They've taken away major options, and that just goes to Udoka's defense. So I could definitely see the Clippers rebound.
Clippers ain't major options.
I don't think the Wolves.
Clippers is garbage.
Who else got to go? Who else? Musa, who you got coming out of West A?
Don't matter. No, I'm playing.
You're not gonna entertain it?
I guess I'll probably go.
You love your Rockets, bro.
I'll go Minnesota.
You going who?
The Wolves.
But you love your Rockets. What happened to the Rockets?
Rockets could still be a top 5 seed in the West and not win the NBA Cup. So
we didn't say win the cup. We just talking about coming out of this standards, brother.
Same thing applies.
No, it does not, bro. Who you got coming out of West A?
No, the same thing applies, meaning they can not come out the cup and still be a top 5 seed in the West. So
we're not talking about the cup. We're talking about the group.
Bomba cloud. The same thing applies. They cannot come out the West A and still be a top 5 seed in the West. So
all right, that's a better statement. You say cup like it was
same shit, bro.
Hey, bro. You mad, bro?
Draco, who you got coming out of West A?
Oh, I thought I started. I said Houston.
Houston. All right. Clips.
I'm gonna just go and say Portland.
Wow. It's big. Okay. And Mike, who you got? I'm assuming you're going with Houston.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Houston. If Minnesota didn't have that point differential, I give them a chance. I give the Kings a bit of a chance, but I'm gonna stick with Houston.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Houston too, just given the way how the spread is right now. It's working in their favor. West B. Musa, who you got coming out of West B?
Another mid grouping. Nah, I'm playing. I'm gonna go Lakers.
Ace.
I got the Lakers.
Draco, who you got?
I'm gonna go with OKC. They're gonna knock the Lakers off.
Clips.
San Antonio.
Mike, who you got?
I got the Lakers solely because Chet's out. If Chet wasn't out, I'd have OKC, but I think that's going to be a problem when when the Lakers face them. Suns have no KD, so I think the Lakers are clear cut coming out of that group.
And I completely agree. That was going to be the reason why I went LA too, given with the injury. Musa, you had something?
No, I agree. That's everything Mike just says the reason why I picked the Lakers also.
But I think you could go West C for obvious reasons.
Yeah, West C, in my opinion, is the best group out of the West. But I'm
so?
gonna, yeah,
Most competitive, yeah.
I think so.
I think it might be because the Pelicans ain't competitive.
Unfortunately, due to injuries.
Devontae Murray's out. But besides that, it looks competitive or not. I still have the Warriors getting out of that group. I could just see how it looks competitive. you got the trash Clippers, you got Utah. But if you look at from Warriors down the Nuggets, it looks competitive. Like those are all teams that can respectfully make.
I mean, barring if Ja comes back sooner than later.
I was gonna say Jaw's out. You have
Ja Wick is out too.
Ja been out.
Bane just got back like yesterday.
The whole team for the whole New Orleans is hurt. So all they got left is the Pelicans.
They are all professionals.
But I'm a rock with Golden. I'm a rock with Golden State. Go ahead, Musa.
Yeah, I'm probably leaning to the Warriors. I want to go Denver, but they're so hit and miss with me when it's outside of Jokic doing everything. So I feel like the Warriors should be able to come out the West. See.
Ace, who you got?
Oh, I said the Warriors.
Okay. Draco.
Dallas.
Clips, who you got?
Is that a trick question?
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't have even asked. Mike.
I got the Warriors. I don't think the Nuggets are even taking this seriously, seeing they benched Jokic they had him rest last night. Pelican.
He sat out for personal reasons.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Fantasy league, by the way.
Yeah, still, I think the Warriors are going to win the whole entire West in general for the Cup. They'll be in the finals, so I'm definitely going with them.
Hey, Ace, how the fantasy going for you?
y'all matching up in the fantasy this week?
No.
Nah, but Joker sat out last night, and that messed me up a little bit. But it is what it is. I can still win this. I will still win this week.
Who are you playing? Actually, let me see.
I'm playing Tommy.
East Group standings. I got the Knicks coming out of East A.
I need you to win that actually. So please do your job and win.
Well, if Joker got to play, man,
I don't give a damn. Like you said, next player up, right? They're professionals.
Well, hey, you can send me a trade then and do it like that. How about that?
The hell I'm trading with you. I beat you all the time. I'm not helping you.
East A. I got Charlotte. I got my Charlotte boys. We're gonna cook up.
Wow.
We're gonna get right soon.
Musa, who you got?
Orlando.
What's the status on Paulo? How long is he out for?
No
If anybody
time.
knows.
It's getting reevaluated in a month or two, I think.
Yeah, he gotta wait till that middle of next month to be.
France about to be the All-Star. France been cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Ace, who you got coming out of East A?
I got the Knicks. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Clips.
No, Paulo, Knicks.
That don't mean nothing. Cat still got to defend.
Ben, don't even say that in Cat.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go Brooklyn.
46 on somebody.
He's been doing a pretty solid job as of late,
I'm gonna go Brooklyn.
but it's going to burn him out later on in the season if Mitchell Robinson doesn't come back soon enough.
He's been doing this whole job about what, Peso?
Playing defense on that team.
Get the fuck out of here. Cat? No. No, that's not. He's been putrid, bro.
Against what games are you watching?
All the games. He has been terrible on defense. He's given the most points in the paint.
You talking about Karl-Anthony Towns?
Yes.
Yeah, the league averages 91% scoring on him this season.
He's been awful.
He's a bucket. Look, he's a bucket. Like you see him, it's like, oh, I'm not. It's Cat. It's Carl, not Cat. It's Carl.
I will say I love what he did against Joel as far as like going at him on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, don't forget they have that beef from before, so that's gonna be.
It was a beef.
Let's move on to East beef. One of the best things about Karl-Anthony Towns is his girlfriend. Okay, shout out to her.
Hey yo, bro.
Clips, who you got out of East A?
I said Brooklyn.
Mike?
I'm still mad. T-Top took Cam Thomas, bro. I'm mad as hell. I was trying to get him on the fantasy.
I got the Knicks. I would take Orlando in a landslide if Paulo was healthy. Hornets if LaMelo. I know he's battling injury, and the 76ers, the New York Jets, the NBA, so I can't pick them.
East Group B. This is a tricky one.
I know that's not Detroit at the top. Good heavens, bro.
Detroit been playing good ball. Solid ball. Let me not say good. They've been solid.
I wouldn't even know who I would rock with out of this group, but if I had to pick, I would go with Miami.
Is it me next? My bad.
Yep.
I'm torn between Indiana and Detroit. I go on a limb. I pick Detroit. They've been playing really well as of late. They've been competing. Let me say that they've been competing, and I think that's something good because you only can improve from what you did last year. So I'll go with Detroit. That'll be good for that young team.
Hey, so you got
I would love to see Indiana, but I'm gonna say Milwaukee only because this will be their hope to break whatever curses they've been having between Doc and Darvin and push through. I feel like they'll be the type to excel in this, but still be questionable in the regular season.
Draco.
But this is so trash, bro. I guess Indy, like you couldn't put the Cavs and Celtics in East B.
It had to do with the standings last year, how they grouped them, I think.
Okay.
Damn. All right, well, I'll go Indy if they wake up. Tyrese get aggressive.
Clip, so you got
I'm going Miami.
Mike.
I got Detroit, seeing how they already beat Miami, and the Bucks still have to play the Pacers, and I got the Pacers over the Bucks. And if Detroit does lose, I could see the Pacers taking this. So it's a toss up for me between Detroit and the Pacers, but I'm going to lean Detroit, seeing they've already beat Miami.
Then we got Group EC, and I'm gonna rock with the Cavs coming out of this one. I do think they're gonna take their first loss next week against the Celtics. But I got the Cavs coming out of this one. Musa, who you got?
I want to shout out Atlanta. Dyson Daniels.
Steel machine.
My bad, y'all. Dyson Daniels and Jalen Johnson. I gotta give them a huge shout out. But I'm probably gonna lean Cleveland. I'm on the fence, honestly. I go Boston. I don't really care.
There we go. There we go. I was gonna ask if he was okay. If he was well.
I'm okay, but I'm not gonna. I think Boston can win because if they can beat Cleveland, they have a chance. But
I gotta worry about Atlanta.
I'm really gonna be. I really wanted to pick Atlanta, but I'll go Boston.
Yeah, I don't blame you. The way they dismantled.
Who you got, Ace?
You have a way of words.
I'm just saying the way Atlanta was out there dealing with the the Celtics. Hey,
Who you got, Ace, man?
I'm going Cavs. The momentum's there. They're hot in both. I got the Cavs rolling to the East group standings. The West, like the East. What is it? Conference? Whatever championship they put in the East, the Cavs might be there.
Draco, who you got?
I'm gonna go Hawks.
Dogs. Clips.
I'm gonna go Hawks.
Clips
I'm gonna go Cleveland.
Okay. Who you rocking with, Mike?
This is a tough group. I think the wild card for the East will come out of this group. And I think it's going to be a toss-up between those top three teams. I don't know how seriously Boston's taking it, but I'm probably going to go with Cleveland just the way they're playing. No one's proven they can beat them yet, so I can't go against them. But I could see like the Hawks or the Celtics in that wild card, especially with the Celtics only having a 1 point differential.
That's why I was on the fence to pick Boston. So I don't know if they really care about that damn thing, but I'll go with them.
So next week's episode, we'll revisit the standings again and take a look at what that's looking like, and then we'll go from there. I want to get into our betting segment. Let's get into that. Mike, you got a couple spreads you could throw out for us for bettors out there are looking forward to as far as making some money today?
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the slate today. I don't know if Musa, you got any player props? I didn't see any really I like this one, but the spreads we got for today's games are Bucks are -3.5 at Hornets. Raptors at the Celtics. Celtics are favored by 17. Lakers -7 at the Pelicans. That's maybe something I would go for. Lakers -7 over them, seeing how hurt the Pelicans are. Spurs at Mavs. Mavs are -10.5. I would have probably leaned Spurs +10.5 because I don't think the Mavs are that good, and Wemby's heating up. Jazz at the Kings. Kings are -11. Probably lean towards the Kings -11. That's a high spread, and the Jazz suck, but it's a shady slate today. Proceed with caution if you do place any bets.
Cool. Musa, you got anything on these slates?
Sure, I do like Anthony Davis over 2.5 assists. I also like McKenzie. I'm not pronouncing the last name. That last name's kind of crazy to pronounce. I do like under 15.5 points. South Carolina versus Indiana. That's another prop I like. More college. I like Isaac Brown over 94 rushing yards against Stanford. They're getting up a lot of rushing yards on defense, so I like that prop, as well as Kevin Jennings from SMU over 243 passing yards against Boston College. I like that prop as well. I believe that's it for now, because the other props I had already got bumped, so I don't want to put those out there to people. But I'm gonna double check it right now. Some other props I did have earlier. I like Luka under on his rebounds against the Spurs. The Spurs is, I think, I know they're top 5 in rebounds allowed. So I like that prop. I think that was kind of high, but I know they already got bumped, so people's not going to be able to get that one. But definitely try to go get Davis on assist if you can, and Drew Holiday over 4 assists is another one I like.
Ace, you got anything, man? I know you've been on you be trying to get your thing going on, man. You got anything?
I'm losing. Matter of fact, I need Musa to send me this in detail. I need to review this content, actually. Let me know. I haven't been seeing anything in the Discord or nothing like that, man.
That's cap. I literally sent something earlier, multiple plays, and yesterday. I was flooding the Discord
for prize pick.
Nah, but you can you might actually have a better chance with Fliff because you in Georgia too, so you probably definitely.
See what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? This is why networking is key. You hear me? You didn't communicate this to me, Fliff.
I definitely tag everyone that's in the Discord on the play. So if you ain't look, that's your eyes being legally blind.
I don't even know how to work this. I don't even know how to work this Discord, ladies and gentlemen.
Me and Mike will talk to you about that off camera. Don't worry. Another play I had that's already live though, that's looking really good was Trayvon Spillers from Wake Forest. I had him under his points, and he's here in the second half against Xavier, and he's already 0 for 5. So,
Musa, why you at it, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not saying we promote gambling. However, we are in the business of helping people make money. If you are 21 and older and you have a gambling addiction, you call 1-800-GAMBLER. Okay, they have you help and everything, and they got you. All right. Grade A is not supporting bad habits. We're in the business of helping people grow with their sports fantasies and betting and everything. I just wanted that disclaimer to get out there, please. So for legality issues.
Moving on, fellas. Let's get to the last topic of today. I feel like we haven't really chimed in Philly too much, and we could, I just want to hear y'all input real quick. I'll start off with you, Mike. My question is, even if they were healthy, is Philly still trash?
Yeah.
No.
I personally think they are. I've lost all respect I've had for Joel Embiid. I think he's basically a reincarnation as Charles Barkley, except he's soft and can't play.
How is our own show Comington on our show? What's going on?
I think there's someone that just jumped off the stream, but
ahead,
I'm disappointed, man. I didn't think.
Oh, we lost him.
You took Mike off.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just saying, I don't think the Paul George move really made anything, but I've given Embiid a lot of credit on this show in the past, and I don't think I should be doing that anymore. Supposedly he's out of shape. He all his season he went to go play in the Olympics and do all this other stuff when he should have just been getting ready for the NBA season. And I know we talk about, the season doesn't start until Christmas. Well, the Philly, the Bucks, some team seasons. I know the East doesn't have strong records right now, but we're talking about some team seasons might be over by Christmas if there's some injuries that happens, or like in Milwaukee. I know the 76ers, they have guys that just haven't been healthy the whole time. But I think, as I said earlier, I think they're the New York Jets of the NBA.
I want to give Embiid some credit for at least battling through what he's been through since he's been in Philly with all the injuries. I know he's been working trying to get back into basketball shape, but let's face it, we all up here play basketball. Ain't nothing gonna prepare you for basketball shape better than playing basketball. So now that he's back, I'll probably say early December, maybe second week of December, he should be back in basketball shape by then. If you look at their schedule, that's probably right around the time he'd be at his 10th or 11th game. I think he should be back in shape, barring another setback. So,
I just want to chime in and say, I feel like not only Embiid's shape, you have him and Paul George, who have not played together, different injury aspects of the game and everything like that. Chemistry goes into it. My star has said on TV he's not playing back to back. So I get minutes this game, then that game. It's hard to get a consistent flow and rhythm. However, it's like the games we don't play, I get the ball more. So the games that I don't play with Embiid, I get shots. But it's like a catch-22. I just feel like, how do you get rhythm and flow like that? You might have a Boston, then a back-to-back with Cleveland, like games that really matter for your conference and everything like that. I just feel like that team might be just good to watch, but I don't expect too much of greatness. Draco, you got something you want to add to that?
I don't know about Philly in the regular season. It's always realistically. I want to see what they do in playoffs, because they could probably save the regular season and still have a bad playoffs. Because I could still see these boys being hurt again in the playoffs. They be regular season and playoff hurt. So if they're all on the court, we expect good things. But expectations sometimes be too high with certain. Yes, they're supposed to be good, but I don't think they're going to be good.
I just can't call them trash. Calling them trash is like literally saying like they literally ain't. Like, that's below our expectations. Like, that's what trash to me means. And I don't think they're gonna be trash. I just don't think right now is the best time for them. Like, Embiid played in the USA games and shit. He ain't have no time to really recuperate.
What's gonna draw the line for everybody to consider Philadelphia not being like legit?
A bottom feeder.
I just think they're gonna always be that middle of the pack as like.
If they don't make the play in this year, they're trash.
And that's what I want to get to. So it's a big what if.
They missed the playoffs.
I'm looking far ahead. I'm looking far ahead.
Wait, they made the playoffs last year, right?
Yeah, I'm saying this year they don't make the playoffs.
So if they don't make the playoffs this year, they're trash. With a new roster and new pieces.
Yeah, because you added to it trying to build your team.
If Philadelphia does not make the playoffs this year,
1 year. I understand if it was like this is like they both was together 2 years, they haven't been healthy, then yeah. But we're going off of 1 year right now. We're going off of 11 games into the season, and they haven't played a lick of basketball together. And we're gonna say by the end of the season, if they don't make the playoffs, they trash.
Considered what they put around Maxey progressing, Paul George being there.
They got one bright spot.
I just don't think that's fair.
And the Eastern Conference, if they don't make,
I just don't think that's fair. Like literally, that.
So would Joel Embiid get criticism for this?
Absolutely.
So what are they if they don't make the playoffs?
Would it be fair to criticize the team?
I think they still are a pack team. This season wasn't going to. We knew going into this season once Embiid said he's not playing back to backs. We knew PG probably was still hurt. Like we kind of knew that they wasn't gonna be squat. So my thing is, can we grade them when they're fully at something? Like instead of grading them when they ain't at shit.
Who's weak? Because I was told they
Not
had
you,
a better.
not you.
No, I'm asking because I was told they had a better looking starting five than New York.
I ain't say that. I don't know who said that.
But that
Hey, hold up, say name. They'll be holding your face.
I'm not talking about y'all. I'm saying in general.
that's what came out.
That's
That
what the
Philadelphia
media
had one of the best.
If I was talking about y'all, I would have said the name.
On paper, yeah, I guess, but if they're not playing, then no. But I just don't think it's too early to call them trash.
I just feel like Kawhi ducking.
And I don't think that if they
miss
miss
blaming
the
Embiid,
playoffs,
Kawhi needs blame too.
Real quick.
remember how we had a conversation about who gets the blame, and I told you PG gets as much blame as Joel. That's at a season where they both are playing and they don't do nothing. They ain't getting. I can't point fingers yet when they both ain't touched the court with each other. I could say PG played a shitty game, yeah, but I can't say that they're as a collective right now shitty or going to be trash if they miss the playoffs.
I heard you correctly, Clips. You said a trash team is someone that doesn't meet expectations, right?
I said below like that. They
Below
don't meet
expectations,
like way below it. Like we know looking at certain teams who's gonna be trash. Like Charlotte, no disrespect, that's a trash. No disrespect. LaMelo's balling, but like that's a trash team. Like you get what I'm saying? Like we know what Detroit playing, even though they're playing well. Like that's a trash team. Like we know what trash teams are.
they're not trash.
I'm not saying they're trash, but like but before this season, they was trash. That's my whole point.
But we're speaking on. Okay, that doesn't even matter. That doesn't. We that's going to get us to a different conversation. I just want to hear what your definition behind the trash part was, because based on what you were saying, trash is Philadelphia fits that description perfectly. Like regardless if Embiid's not there, considering what pace of them being in the East, when Maxey was playing early in the year before he got hurt, you got Paul George that came back in. They are still expected to at least be a playing team without the 4-3 there, considering what the East is looking like. So if they don't make the playoffs,
we can't
that means
judge
they are trash
because the conference is the division is trash. They don't. If a team don't get time to gel, then how like that? Like, what do you want them to do? This ain't street basketball. This is organized NBA.
Well, to be fair though,
Like, what are we talking about? If they haven't been able to play together.
But we also judge the teams that are good with injuries too, like OKC.
But OKC to Philly, who has been able to play together.
OKC still have their number one option.
I mean, I get that, but we're just talking
all
about.
I'm asking, because based on what Clip said was
what
trash.
I'm saying to your definition is trash, but they can't fit that because they haven't been to like if we saw all three of them on the court together and we look like damn this shit don't gel, then we can say it's trash. If they play together and they go on and they 10 games they go 2-8, or then we can say that. But we don't know what the product look like yet. If my wheels is flat and my driving axle still needs to be repaired, like the car ain't going.
But we can't criticize the organization for bringing in an injured guy and paying him and paying Joel Embiid, who's never done anything for them in the playoffs. We can't criticize the organization for that.
He's got them to the playoffs, so you can't say he
haven't been out the second round.
Yeah,
he's got them there.
Yeah, Melo got into the playoffs a lot
That's
too.
Fine. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to get them to the playoffs.
But
once
this is why
they
had
the playoffs, it's a different level of game.
But this is why they had the high expectations, because you have someone like Joel Embiid who
when they lost to Kawhi and them, right? What round was that?
Was it the second? I believe
2018.
Oh no, was it the first?
When they lost to the Hawks.
You said what was wrong with that?
Philly versus Toronto. I think that was the first. I think they played Milwaukee second round. I'll double check it though.
That's probably the second round, bro.
I'll double check it.
It was a game.
I'm just asking.
My point for Embiid to be the caliber player he is, and we all can believe he's the second best player, if not one of the three in the league. And what he's been able to do for them to be out the second round is a problem. And it's not like they haven't had chances to get out the second round. It's been with him in that team. So I feel like the expectations is there. Like, you got to stay healthy. The process has been over, so they had time.
Is Joel Embiid one of the only top 10 players, and this is just me asking. I don't really know, but I want to know if y'all know. Is he one of the only top 10 players who hasn't made it to a conference finals? I know Shea hasn't.
So who's in the top 10? That'll be what we have to
Jokic,
figure
we
out
have
first.
Tatum.
So
We
you got Jokic and Tatum. They both won.
We have Luka.
Luka's
He's
been
been there.
out the second round before the finals.
You have AD.
The finals.
Yeah, he was in the finals last year.
No, I said he's been out the second round before the finals.
Yeah, we have AD.
Hold up. His main point was people who's made it to the final or conference final.
Didn't you? Exactly. That's what I just said. He's been.
We had to say he'd been out the second round. Once he made it to the finals, that was it. We just move on to the next player.
Anyway, continue, Peso.
That was 5. Shea hasn't made it.
He
Who
just
else?
cracked the top 10 last season, so you gotta give him grace.
Who else am I missing?
We've seen the product though. Ain't no giving grace.
When did
We're going up for one season.
I'll go ahead.
Sometimes all it takes to win a championship is
I just
one
want to
season.
know. After we do the list, I just want to know out of y'all perspective, when did Embiid crack the top 10?
When?
But finish
Before
the
his,
list first.
before his MVP.
No, I think it's only 5 players. The only other person I would throw in there is Curry, LeBron.
All established players, veterans.
It's a bonus, maybe. If you throw him in the top 10, that's one right
We
there.
just went over the top 10 list.
That's why I wanted to ask the question, because I'm like,
And everybody
you
that's
gotta know
made
who the
that
top
we've
10 is.
named,
Everyone's
right?
top 10 is different.
Everybody that we've named, besides probably Luka, has had a better team around him, right? Around them, right? Right?
Was Luka's team better than Philly's when he got to the
Not
conference finals?
necessarily when he had Jimmy Butler that year.
James Harden.
James Harden as well. Like, yeah, it didn't look adequate enough, the results, but roster-wise,
He's been on some great teams in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
Yes,
Embiid's to your question, Cliff,
okay.
Embiid's cracked the
We talking
top
about James
10.
Harden, who never mind. Go ahead though.
Who won them 2 of the games in that second round.
Wait,
And
hold on.
Embiid
Y'all
didn't
said
show up the last 2 games.
Never mind.
we can't put great teams and Philly in the same sentence. I'm sorry. That's
Okay. now we just
Capable
Thank
teams.
you.
Capable teams.
Because the team that Dallas had when Luka went to the conference finals the first time against the Warriors, was that team better than any Philly team Embiid had?
what
I don't
team?
even know what team it was.
Conference finals, the year the Warriors won, when he got to the conference finals with him and Brunson, was that team better than the team that Embiid had with James Harden and Maxey?
Hell no.
What about Jimmy Butler and Ben Simmons?
No.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying this dude don't deserve a pass no more.
Yes.
Who on Dallas was better than Jimmy Butler at that time?
But we're talking about Jimmy Butler before he was before he was actually Jimmy. Let's
He
stop.
was Jimmy in Philly.
Well,
That was the beginning of what they didn't know. Like what we just saw a glimpse. That wasn't Jimmy from Miami. That was
Brunson.
stop. And Ben was.
So was Brunson in 22 better than that Jimmy Butler?
I'll see y'all. I just want to say that I feel like that's when Jimmy started, but at the same time, if that's what Luka took and he took that and made it productive, we can't be mad at the teams that Philly had and they didn't produce because they had opportunity. So if the team is better or not, they had Jalen Brunson going against Phoenix and made it fair. They took it and made it work. If you get I feel like the best thing is who gets the most productivity out of their stars and their players at the time. And then I'll go back to shutting the hell up.
The only team I felt like they should have beaten all them playoff runs that they should have beat was the Hawks, realistically, with Philly.
They should have beat Toronto
They
that
should
year.
have beaten Boston. It was up 3-2.
They should have beat Toronto. The Boston too, that series they should have won.
They should have beat Toronto.
They should have beaten Boston. Yes, they should have. And they lost at home in Game 6.
Teams. The team that lost to the Hawks is not the same team that should have beat Boston. That's two different.
We know
that year when they played Toronto, Joel Embiid was like scoreless.
Kawhi Leonard, bro. Kawhi Leonard's a monster.
Yeah, I guess with that settlement too. I guess JT was a monster too. 46 in Game 6, man.
But I understand what Clips is saying because when we get back to the right now what's going on with them, and we can't really evaluate them fully because they're not there.
Jimmy
Yes, I get it.
1 year. How many years was Jimmy with them? 1 year.
I think one season.
Wasn't it 2?
I thought it
I
was
think it
two.
was just one season.
And then they ended up giving Tobias Harris. I forgot they even had to. Well, I ain't forget.
Yeah,
I
they
ain't
gave
mentioned
Tobias
Tobias
Harris
Harris.
that contract over Jimmy.
Yeah,
They gave
I
who
get-
that
I-
contract? Who?
Tobias
Tobias
Harris.
Who?
Toby.
All right. Fuck
He's playing better in Detroit this year.
What's that supposed to mean, Clips? That's not Jimmy's fault. That's the organization's fault. They made that wrong decision.
And that kind of goes into where I'm kind of
so when we're
understanding
calling
where
a team trash, we're counting organization too and collective, or are we talking strictly players and how they play? That's what I want to know.
I'm going both. I'm going
the
both.
team is- the
I just
team
want
is
to.
a
I
part
just
of
want
the
to clear. I just
organization.
want to clear that up because I could give a fuck about the organization. I was talking strictly play.
I didn't have neither. I was just asking the question based on your definition of what trash was. That's all. I don't think Philly's trash, but I was just asking that question based on what you said.
The original question I wanted to know is if they don't make the playoffs, what is it now? How are you evaluating
say
Joel
that
Embiid and Paul George now?
Let's say tomorrow we come out and Embiid's out for the season, then we're gonna they're trash. Then they don't make the playoffs. They're trash.
Philadelphia is going to be a trash team. Embiid is not trash.
No, I'm not saying Embiid. If it hypothetically, if it came out Embiid's done for the season goes on and they don't make the playoffs, we're labeling Philly trash.
The first thing that I'm going to say is that Philly's going to be a trash team this year.
Unhealthy season.
I was about to say that's what's going to come down to. It's going to be the health situation.
Unhealthy.
Yes, we know it's going to be an unhealthy season, but okay, if you're telling me is this team going to be mid, good, a star, or trash, I'm putting them in the trash section.
So let me ask you this, right? Last year, did Detroit have their full team?
You mean Philly?
No, Detroit.
Detroit?
Yes.
At times, yeah.
Yes.
Detroit had their full team, and they had a bad season. We consider them trash because everybody showed up to play, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but Detroit
No,
doesn't have no Joel
I
Embiid.
don't like that as an example because we already knew Detroit.
Yeah,
was gonna be
Kate
trash
Cunningham, they got
regardless.
their
You
number
know
one.
what I'm saying? Everybody else supposed to show up to work. Showed up to work.
That is
The MVP
nasty,
only
yo.
played one game this season. That's the MVP. Joker missed a game last night. They lost, right?
Yeah,
This
but
is
that's
nasty.
what I'm talking about for the whole season.
For the whole he only played one game this whole season, and B didn't even get to stretch for real. He only had 13.
I mean I get that. What I'm saying is that if it comes out that Embiid is not playing for the rest of the year, I'm considering Philadelphia a trash team. If Cade Cunningham comes out being out for the rest of the year, or maybe Jalen Duran too at the same time, I'm considering Detroit a trash team.
Real quick, Jimmy was in Philly for that 1 year, but Jimmy was Jimmy prior to that trade to Philly. He was in.
Wasn't he in
10.
Minnesota?
He was. He was in
He
top
got
10. He was at 10 for MVP voting that year before going to Philly. So
What
Jimmy
we
was
got
established.
to remember too is Philly was able to make the playoffs with Embiid missing most of the season last year with not as good of team as they had this year, and they can't even they're bottom feeder this year. What are they 2-10, 2-12, something like that, and against an East that only has 3 winning teams in it. Come on,
I just want to give the bright spot to Jared McCain. That's
I guess
the
they
only
trash.
bright spot.
They don't make
Jared
the
McCain.
they don't make the play. All right, so they don't make the playoffs. They trash. We're just gonna leave it.
What time of the year did Embiid get hurt last year? That's my question.
30 games in, I want to say 20 games in, something like that.
And it was like the 3rd seed. So strength of
Yeah,
schedule
but
also
give or
play
take.
a part into it too, though.
Yeah, but they
Shout out to
traded-
Jared McCain though. The only bright spot on Philly. That's why I was trying to get at with this. The trash thing, like I said, I don't think Philly's trash. My question was just based on what Clips was saying, just out of curiosity and clarification. But Jared McCain looking like a rookie of the year front runner. I didn't expect him to get this minutes, but considering with Maxey being out, this is a good thing for them. So shout out to Jared McCain.
That's the thing though. Even when Maxey was there, they still weren't winning games this year.
Well, I didn't expect them to win a lot of games with him there because he's the only option. The defense can only focus on him, so they'll rather let the others beat him.
I just want to know. I just wanted to know what's the definition of trash.
The Philadelphia 76ers.
That's all.
Yo, Mike is funny.
That's all we got, folks. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Make sure y'all like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Tune in tomorrow for the Pick 6 episode. I believe we're starting a little bit earlier tomorrow, so make sure y'all look out for that. Peace and love. Enjoy the weekend.
Brady Hey, run that thing up.